If you are a cat person, you already know that having a cat really is a great joy and honor. Jang Animals Mom would like to share a wonderful cat story with you today. 9 years ago, a mom cat had a litter of 3 kittens, which were most likely born in the garage of our neighbours next door. About 2 months later, the tenants were evicted from the house. They were evicted because the landlord was about to start extensive renovations. The tenants had been giving the kittens scraps from time to time, but now there was no food for them. So, just before the landlord's son started repairs to the house, the 3 kittens started coming over to my front porch, where I fed 5 feral cats, which I adopted a year ago. At first, I didn't want another 3 cats to take care of, but God spoke to my heart and gave me compassion for the starving kittens. The dry food that I was getting every 2 weeks was being donated to me by a UPS driver in Riverside, California. He owned 3 cats of his own and was a cat person like myself. At first, because of my limited funds, I was wary of having 3 more mouths to feed. Most believers limit God in the kind of miracles He can do. Their faith has not reached the level to understand the depth of the words of Christ, that all things are possible with God. I remember when I first adopted my mom cat and her 3 kittens, a young feral cat wandered into my backyard right after I adopted them. That gave me a grand total of 5 feral cats. 2 of the cats would later die, and 1 kitten fell prey to a raccoon. At the time, I mentioned to my fellow choir members that I was going to try to feed these 5 cats, just after the 3 kittens had finished being nursed by their mom cat. The pastor's daughter advised against it. A couple of months later, the UPS driver came into the picture and started donating 2 large bags of dry cat food every single month. The kittens had just finished nursing from their mom when the UPS driver started donating these big bags of cat food, and God knows it arrived just in time. I wasn't too worried about feeding the cats, because I knew that somehow I would scrape the money together, but no need, because the UPS driver was a godsend. I believed that God was somehow going to help me feed all 5 cats. Now, with another 3 kittens added to my colony, I had a grand total of 8 cats. I could never think of 8 cats being too much trouble, because I am a cat lover. Anyone who loves cats will know how important these innocent creatures are. There is so much joy in having a cat. Not all of the cats at the animal shelter are adopted, and therefore euthanized on a daily basis. Dogs are preferred by most families or single people. If a person lives in an apartment and the apartment building accepts animals, they should think about adopting a cat. They will gain a wonderful companion and save a life at the same time. In order for a person to want to adopt a cat, they obviously need to be an animal lover. Some people just aren't animal lovers, and we can't persuade them to adopt cats or dogs. I cannot imagine living without my cats. Once you bond with your cat, it's over. You'll be in love with that beautiful creature for all of your days. Any cat lover knows that. Perhaps like me, you've owned a cat, or more likely been owned by one. You know the joy that cats can bring, even when they are being arrogant. If you have an affectionate cat, notice how it receives your affection. How does it make you feel being so deeply received? Similarly, when someone you like gives you a hug or offers affection, experiment with letting it in. Be a cat. Get out of your head, take a deep breath, and be mindfully present with how it feels to receive a hug from a loved one. Whether it is from a cat or a human, letting in love may bring healing to you.